Is where?
Pontefract Castle in England, where King Henry VIII's wife had her head lopped off in that castle. These are dumbbells Bill Golumbick's gym, and Jackson grew up. I grew up 10 miles from Jackson, so that's how I had an affinity for these.
Jackson was made in
anywhere from the 40s through
and where was it made?
He was in Springfield, New Jersey. I lived in Hillside.
Yeah, you lived in Hillside. You might be upset with me, but I bought a bunch of standard Jacksons and I sold them. I bought them I have the video. I was in the guy's basement and he had a Jackson barbell, all the Jackson stuff.
All right, these are the weights, the Jacksons that I used as a teenager to lift on. Actually, I saved them.
Yeah.
These were, as I said, out of Bill Golumbick's gym.
Who was Bill?
Bill Golumbick was a world-class bodybuilder in California. He had a gym that all the top bodybuilders at the time. Draper trained there, Schwarzenegger trained there.
What was the gym called?
Golumbick's gym.
In where?
In California, I don't know.
You don't know where?
All the greats, Arnold trained there, Pat Casey trained there, Superstar Billy Graham trained there, Peanuts West trained there. These are people that all went through, Dave Draper went through, all the great bodybuilding champions, and their sweat is still stuck in those handles. These are the dumbbells I think maybe you have, if you notice that square area.
Yes, yes.
Those are Jackson's, but Jackson also made them without his name on them.
Right.
So it would just have the number.
Right.
The 150s were the largest anyone made.
Yeah.
That he ever made or anyone made. So there's a chance they're that.
Your handles look smooth.
Handles.
I got you.
These plates are out of the Zuver gym, the most hardcore
Amazing.
gym ever.
Amazing.
This is what Dr. Ken had such a reverence for. He trained there. He tried to even, lift what he could when he was there and get on the strength list of honor.
He lifted the keg.
There's
that keg that not too many people.
He gave a good pull on what they call that giant blob of metal that they try to lift 500 pounds off the floor.
Right.
And he gave us a try at that. These are some of the early kettlebells that are turning the century, which started all barbells in America. Those are Milo barbells started by Alan Calvert.
Right.
These are weights that Dave Passanella, late great Dave Passanella, 100-pound plates.
GT?
No, he was at Georgia Tech. And he
was
a coach.
I was wondering what that stood for.
So they made those plates specially where he could squat.
Can I just ask you something real quick, Rich?
Yeah,
do you mind if... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was just...
Okay. These are York dumbbells that I used through the years.
Do you use them anymore, Rich? Or you still use them, or use the ones that are out front?
I actually went down, all the way down the rack pressing them.
Yeah.
Until recently. I believe in using the things that are part of history.
Absolutely.
Her barbell was in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, which was only about 15 miles.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
I used to buy these plates for 10 cents a pound.
Burr Bar? Is there a story behind them? Or?
Well, we never found out where the name Burr exactly came from.
Right.
I used to go in the factory and watch the plates being made, being painted. And I was a painter. I was a young kid. I would ask them all kinds of questions. They get mad at me.
Yeah.
But they kind of say, okay, this is why we do this, and this is the kind of paint we use. And I used to go there with my lunch money. It was 10 cents a pound. $10 would buy me a 100-pound set of weights.
Holy cow!
So I was there, and I would buy them religiously. We have anvils from the 6th to 17th century.
That's a very unique shaped anvil.
It is. And everything that's ever built started out being built on an anvil.
On an anvil.
That's where all civilization would be started, having an anvil to make other tools.
What motivated you to start lifting with anvils?
I just love them because the permanence of them, how unique they are.
Right.
They'll be here. The story they could tell. Think of the man that sweated after he was pounding on that steel
I
anvil.
always think of that stuff.
And the horses, where we pull wagons, did they settle out west? Did they go fight battles? All happened over that anvil. And the memories of that sweat and that blood and tears in that anvil lives with us.
The history behind, each piece of equipment.
It's the history behind what it represents.
Yes.
But this is I use for pinch gripping. That is a cobblestone out of Johnny Cake Hill, the famous whaling city in Massachusetts.
Okay.
He tore the street apart friend of mine sent me that. So that's a rare piece, and you could use it for grip too.
Yes.
So these are kind of some of the things that I have reverence for.
That piece that down there, it's like a block weight. The one by the
Yes.
barbell.
Yes. This is quite old. It says RS and Company. So I'm Richard Soren, so I liked it.
Did you? Where did you get that from?
eBay.
eBay. I went to a scrap metal yard in Perth Amboy, which is where isn't John Grimmick from Perth Amboy?
He lived 2 doors down from me.
In Perth Amboy,
No,
or
he lived there when he trained, when he was 16 and 17. Started
Okay.
training. He lived 2 doors down from where we had our Cedar Street gym.
in
New Jersey.
Hillside. So I was in a scrap metal yard in Perth Amboy, and I saw them, and I was leaving the scrap yard with them, and then the owner saw me. I was buying them from the lady that was working there, and he said, he can't go anywhere with those. We use those to calibrate the scale.
Well,
and I was depressed for the day.
That's what I think they're originally made for.
Right. Did you ever, I've seen like the people using them were like warrior monks using like block weights.
They had a similar thing, but they weren't based
On
on that.
that?
I think maybe just the simplicity of they were easy to carry. They were zero, dead on the money. They were
Right.
easy to check a scale with. So I think that's the form that they took.
Yeah.
To check scales.
Who, Hercules plates? I feel like I've seen them
I just thought
before.
that was neat. This was one of the things made by York. It was kind of
York.
After Milo was bought out. I think they experimented a little bit with the shape of the Milo plate.
Okay.
Before they decided they were just going to put York on it.
All right. I have some dumbbells at the gym with Wonder plates, Wonder barbell.
Never heard of it.
Really? So the guy who I bought it from was half his gym was he was a welder, the other half it was in Newark. And I'll have to send you photos. Wonder barbell, and of course I saw you had some Dan Lurie
I
stuff.
just got those. I thought because them being 20 inches in diameter and 100 pounds, who would ever buy those?
Who
So I think they're
who would have like used all like was it that today nobody really makes 100-pound plates. It's everything's 45. Like,
Sure.
was there people just so much stronger back in the day, or
I
they
don't
just,
know. I just think.
or were they open to just making anything and seeing what would happen?
I think they had bars that were shorter, so they couldn't put as many plates on.
Gotcha.
So they had to be heavier. if
Shorter
they did
bars.
Go up.
Okay.
So I don't know how long that craze lasted, but I think that's why they were made. People
Right.
don't really use 100-pound plates unless actively competitive powerlifters or in a powerlifting competition. We have hundreds here, but
Right.
people rarely move them around and use them.
I see. Yeah.
Should we take a break for a second?
Yeah.